Okay, friendship is something we could all relate to. We all have friends who like are best friends or friends that we like see once a month or something. And German proverb said, friendship is a plant we must often water. And when he says that, I think he's saying that in order to have a good friendship that lasts a long time, people need to keep up with their friends, like either on a daily or weekly. Because sometimes when people like lose touch, they just stop talking to each other and they like lose that friendship. So he's saying to water your friendships by hanging out with them, talking to them, anything. And in my experience, I guess, so for how I water my friends, I guess, I just like play games with them all the time, or like see if they want to hang out whenever, or if they like want to do something later. And I had my friends for a while already, since like freshman year of high school, because we all started playing football together. And that's how like I guess we stay together, because like we already got close to each other, so we need to keep watering it. And some friendships can be lost like easily if someone doesn't try on one side of the friendship. It's kind of like it is a relationship, and it's like a big part for someone's life if that person isn't there anymore. So often people like to be accepted by their friends. So the key is to stay with their friends and never like lose them. Thank you.
Well, I thought you had a fine statement of what the concept is concerning friendship, and the transition to the topic was okay. The quote you told us was good, and I thought they had a very reasonable interpretation of what it was that you were going to say. Then you needed to find a little bit more to say, because once you got to the point where you explained what the quote means, you haven't got any ways to really illustrate it or explain it, and it starts wandering a little bit through the ideas that you have. You should pick some of those friendships. Take one of your friendships from the football team and talk about how you still managed to. You haven't played football with this person for X number of months, years, whatever it happens to be. How have you managed to stay friends with them? And give us some details about that kind of thing. And then maybe give us an example of somebody that you lost touch with, and they were a close friend at one point, and then you've kind of lost track of them. And then I think you'll have a little bit more to talk about when you get into the details. As it is, you kind of you throw in some aphorisms and ideas as you're going along. Nothing that you're saying is bad or wrong. It just feels random, and there's not much planning in it. It just feels like you're just kind of talking off the top of your head as you're thinking of things, instead of kind of creating an objective that you wanted to have in the presentation. Delivery issues, you have a tendency to look down every time you're a little uncertain. You kind of drop your head down a little bit and look away from the audience. When you look up at us, you're doing a good job, but that does happen frequently, and it's only, the speech isn't long, and it happens several times during the presentation. So whenever you disengage from people, especially in a short presentation, it invites them to disengage from you also. So you want to avoid that situation. And there's a little bit more swaying and body movement than you really want to have. I think that's where your energy is coming out a little bit. You're not pacing, but you do have a tendency to kind of shift your weight a lot, and you're not quite dancing, but it is you know, not quite herky-jerky, but it doesn't look like you feel entirely stable, like you were in control, and so it's coming out a little bit that way. All right, thank you.